So today's walk starts with a 10-minute rail journey from Worksop, platform 1, to Kiveton Park. So once we've alighted the train at Kiveton Park, there's the level crossing. We'll have a look, see where we go, and I'll explain what we're going to be doing. Go into the car park and then towards the level crossing. This is James Brindley, the designer of the Chesterfield Canal, which was one of the earliest to be completed in Britain at the start of the Industrial Revolution. It was built to give landlocked Chesterfield an outlet to the River Trent, then a great national highway for both inland boats and coastal craft from and to the North Sea. Most of the nation's trade was carried by water. Brindley was engaged as the canal engineer and started work in 1771. It was finally fully open in 1777. So we cross over the road, come to our first bridge, and we go through this gate. That drops us down to the canal. So today's walk then is 10 kilometres. Should take about 3 hours, 6 miles. It's totally flat on the canal towpath from Kiveton Park to Worksop. We're going to be following the canal towpath on the northern side of the canal. So the water should be on our right hand side for about 6 kilometres until we go under the A57, and then we're going to be swapping to the south side of the canal, so the water will be on our left hand side all the way into Worksop. In October 1834, a tremendous fire destroyed the Houses of Parliament, and with the confidence of the age, decided to rebuild it to be much bigger and better than the previous building. And it was stone carried on the Chesterfield Canal from the quarry, which is just behind me, to help build the new House of Parliament as we see it today. So along the way we'll come across these mile markers, and I believe that mile marker is from Chesterfield, because earlier on it said it was 31 miles to the River Trent. As you can see, the canal is fairly overgrown, although it's passable. As the railways improved from sort of 1840s onwards, railways could take greater loads and actually direct the line straight into the factories, into the quarries. Much easier, more convenient. But it wasn't until 1960 this canal was finally closed, and that was after a major sort of collapse in the Norwood Tunnel, which is only sort of 2 miles behind me, and it was deemed too expensive to do any repairs to it. And about 15 years ago they started to renovate the canal, certainly around sort of Chesterfield, Staveley area. It's been reopened at Killamarsh the canal was filled in and was built on. So they would have to build a brand new canal to reopen it. But it's all good, it's quite nice here. Just watch out for cyclists. Step to one side, let them pass, because they'll be a bit fearful of falling in if you don't give them plenty of room. Okay, another boat. Just back there where the boat was is the old Peak Mill. And here, on the old Ordnance Survey maps, it calls this a floodgate. So it narrows. They'd have probably had some sort of gate on there to prevent the water from flooding. This is like a sluice gate. You can hear the water underground. And I think what they do is, just behind me is the floodgate. They open that and the water would go into this stream here. And by the way, the railway line is just there. So get rid of the water out of the canal, follows the stream down. So I'm about a kilometre in now. We're approaching Thorpe Bridge, one of the original bridges over the canal. There's only a few. There was one at Kiveton Park. And here we have a level crossing as well. And bridge number 32. Ahead we can see Devil's Hole Bridge and another flood barrier. But what I was interested in here is you can see how the canal's been built up. So the left hand side falls away, so they built this up, probably with the spoil from the canal. And that's hawk's wood, quite a large wood. Just cut straight through here, following the contours as Brindley did. So it's weaving around the contours. No hills on this trek. There is a train coming. So here you can see how Brindley designed the canal to follow the contours of the land. Zigzagging its way through the landscape. Just on the other side of the canal, you can see quite a large sandstone quarry. They've probably taken stone out of here, put it on the barges, taking it to wherever they need to take it to. Maybe even the Houses of Parliament. Just ahead of us now is Pudding Dyke Bridge. And the canal follows the contour around a bit of a hill, sort of swings out to the left and then back round again. We have a benchmark. I wonder if that was used by James Brindley himself. It's a surveyor's mark to get a level. So we're at Pudding Dyke Bridge. Notice there's no rope burn marks on any of the bridges so far. Must have been fairly easy drag for the horses. Another sluice gate. Removing some of the water from the canal. It's like it's bridge and a ford. 34A, counting them down from Chesterfield. Interesting that. Obviously quite a bit of water coming in off the hill from the right, which needs to be got rid of. Keep the rivers flowing. Some mooring tie-up posts just here. Those ones I've seen so far. We're now going round the top of the loop, and looks like we might have our first lock gate. So these will be for tying up while you're waiting to go through the locks. So here we have the triple lock. It's the bypass sluice. Water goes down the goit. We've got water at the canal level. This is for narrow boats. There's specific instructions of what to do and how to move the water around to get your boat from the top level to the bottom level and from the bottom level to the top level. So we're probably dropping about 3 meters. Hello. Put your head on that bit, it's a bit low. Hello. Up ahead we've got some more locks, and as you can hear, the bypass water is coming out back into the canal. So that was Thorpe Top Treble Lock. And we've got another lock. It comes down into a compound for turning and waiting and storing water. And there's more locks even lower down. So Thorpe Middle Lock brings you down into the compound that I mentioned, and this is the bottom lock. We've now arrived at Turner Wood Bridge on the hamlet of Turner Wood. Turner Wood, beautiful. Beautiful place. There's a bit of a pound here. More up for the day, but you can't overnight here. Just a few blocks in the middle of the hamlet. Looks like there's a garden centre or something. What a beautiful spot. So now leaving Turner Wood. Beautiful little spot. This particular lock is called Boundary Lock. I wonder if you know which boundary they are referring to. I'll tell you at the end. If I remember. So we're now arriving at Shire Oaks with an air display going over our heads from the local airstrip. Shire Oaks railway station, so if you wanted to head back you could do, or you could get off at Shire Oaks and then walk into Worksop. It's a shorter walk. Okay, so Shire Oaks is about halfway. There is a place to sit and eat your soggy sandwiches and drink your lukewarm tea, or you can frequent the cafe, which is a very nice, very popular cafe right next to the canal. And then next door to that, there's a little convenience store also. Just arrived at the canal basin at Shire Oaks. Bit of a bridge over the entrance here. Starting to frequent by fishermen. A few more boats. You may remember earlier at the beginning of the video I said that we walk along the north side of the canal and then we swap over to the south side. Well, this is more or less where we're going to be doing it. This is the A57 and assuming we're going over that bridge there onto the south side, and we'll stay on the south side until we get into Worksop. Pass under the A57, this is Hagenfield Lock. And we go over Bridge 40 onto the south side. Wow, that's steep. And we're going down that way. hiking boots. Beautiful. A look, keep it in. With its bridge, and behind that is Deep Lock. We've definitely entered into Worksop now. There's some maintenance barges here for the Canal and River Trust. Big warehousing. Noise, pollution, cars. Here we have a typical sort of turning area. So one last lock, a deep lock, 3 meters, maybe more, going under the road. So we've got to find our way back onto this road after we've got to the end of our canal walk, and then we're going to be going left up the road back to the railway station. It's a little low, so if you're more than 5 foot 10 inches, watch your bonnet. So this is the old Pickford's warehouse, which I believe is protected now. It's reused for something else, I believe a gym or something like that. But that's used to sprag over the canal, and I believe they used to drop goods into the boats or keep the goods out of the boats. Whilst parking on the wharf. That's how we get out through that open gateway. There, and turn right, follow the road, turn right again, over the bridge, and then follow the road up to the railway station. So the road, just the bridge over the canal is behind me. And the road splits here. Don't go up towards the church and the motorway, the M1 motorway in the north. Go up this way, which is towards Tickhill and Blythe, and that takes you back to the railway station. Just got to keep getting out of the way, cyclists. Okay, so in conclusion then, I think that Mr. James Brindley, who incidentally died before the opening of the canal, I think he'd be pleased. Be pleased with his design and be pleased with the navvies that built his canal, because today it's still here 250 years later, still here, still working. Yes, it needs a bit of TLC, but it still works. Okay, yeah, pop out, have a look at it. It's really nice. It's a really nice walk. It's very interesting walking over all the locks and seeing how they all work. Yeah, it's really good. Come out and enjoy it. Happy hiking.